We go. Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guests today are Nina and Randa Nelson. They are the authors of the best-selling book, The Clear Skin Diet, with foreword by John McDougall, MD. They are very successful YouTubers, and they actually have been vegan since birth. And today they're going to tell you all about their wonderful online program called The Clear Skin Diet, which helps zap the zits, as well as show us some of their favorite recipes for keeping their skin so beautiful. I've known them since they were that tall. Well, not a little taller than that. Please welcome Nina and Randa. It's so nice to see you guys.
Hi guys! In case you can't tell who's who, I'm Nina.
I'm Randa. AJ, thank you so much for having us today.
Oh my God, it's my pleasure. I can totally tell you guys apart, but growing up, I had a harder time, but now it's really easy. But it's one of those things, the more we're around you, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
couldn't tell us apart, honestly.
it's just, you guys are just so precious. And I mean, just the fact that you're vegan since birth, that's amazing to me.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, for us it's pretty normal, but I'm definitely glad that
we
were raised this way.
Whenever we meet someone, they're like, "What? You've never had meat? That's so crazy." And I'm like, "I don't know. It's normal to me."
Normal to me.
I don't know. It just shows. I mean, you know, because I remember hearing a lecture from Dr. Clapper saying there are no failed vegans that have been vegan since birth.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know any either. I don't know many vegans since birth, kids or whatever.
You and Willie are the only ones I know.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I've seen you grow up, and it's just going to be amazing to see, you know, just as you age, you know, because you guys, other than the acne, which you're going to talk about, you guys, you're never sick.
No, rarely.
Yeah. But the acne is really, really interesting to me. And before, you're actually going to show some really amazing recipes. But before they do that, I don't think, because you guys are so beautiful, people don't realize you went through a very dark period where your looks were not as they are right now, because you really suffered horribly with really bad acne. And as professional actresses, that's, you know, it wasn't something you could cover up. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. So why don't you show what you looked like during that period?
Let's do it. Roll the slide. Coming up.
That's Jeff Nelson's shoulder, by the way, if anybody wants to know. He has the wonderful website Veg Source and used to produce the most fantastic events every single year. That's how we got to know each other.
And then there we go.
Okay.
All right, so this is us on the cover of our book, The Clear Skin Diet. So this is me, Randa. In 2014, this was actually as my acne was clearing up a little bit. So it was actually more severe than this. And this is me. I actually took these photos because I was like, wow, my skin is doing so much better. So it was, like Randa said, worse than this. You can see Randa in the background. Yeah, I'm actually looking at my skin, looking at my acne. It was so severe. Yeah. And this is me around 6 or 7 weeks after. I mean, it's pretty miraculous how fast the acne cleared. I remember when I had this severe of acne, like when something would bother me, it would feel like things were almost crawling in my face. Like I couldn't put my head on my pillow.
We had to get
special airplane pillows that would go around our neck so that I wouldn't be bothered by my acne.
By sleeping. And I remember also in that photo of Randa, that was the day we saw our agent.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, well, let me know when that clears up.
Yeah, when I had the severe acne.
Because he didn't want to send us out with all that acne on our face. And me, so this was me about 6 weeks after. And I remember when we changed our diet to like the low-fat, plant-based style of eating, it was the first time after 3 days where my skin was noticeably so much less oily. And for the first time, it wasn't worse, it was better.
Mm-hmm.
And this was us probably like 3 months after.
Mm-hmm.
And we had our confidence back. Those were real smiles, because before we were just like so down on ourselves. We didn't want to like sing. We didn't want to act anymore.
We didn't want to leave the house or see our friends or date, which is like, oh my gosh, in your early 20s, you're like, boy, crazy, even more. So that was pretty tough. And so we posted this information to online, and then we ended up getting people who watched our videos on the internet. This is Kira. She tried the diet and followed our advice and cleared her skin. This is another person named Monica. You can see even in just 10 days, her skin was almost all the way clear.
This is
also Monica.
And this is Ashley. And her acne was so severe, she dropped out of college, and then she changed her style of eating, and boom, she started to clear up. This is Danny. who is so sweet. We still talk to her to this day. And she actually just let us know like a few days ago that she's become a nutritionist to teach the same style of eating that we teach because it worked so well for her. And she saw results pretty quickly as well.
And this is Robin. Again, her having chin acne is really tough to clear up. And they also call it the hormonal acne. And again, the diet cleared her skin. And this is Kendall. And you can see even just 11 days. Some people have really quick results and their acne fades away super fast. Others take a little bit of time, but it's pretty cool to be able to control your acne within 10 days.
So for her, I think that it cleared up quicker than people on the cheeks because the skin on the forehead, it's more closer to bone, so it heals quicker. Whereas the skin on your cheeks are like more fatty, so that takes longer to heal. Anyway,
so it's pretty cool. You can say no to acne. You can literally control your breakouts. I mean, I remember being so stressed out when the acne would get under control from antibiotics, thinking, oh my gosh, when is it going to come back? Like, this is so stressful. Like, I have an audition coming up or a job coming up. And
what's funny is when we were on the antibiotics and we get clear skin, we'd book a commercial.
Exactly. So it was always this constant stress of like, oh no, is it going to come back? And then to just be able to follow a diet and have your skin clear was just liberating.
And I'll say, when we were going through this, we had a hunch it's something with food because our mom had an autoimmune disease and she got rid of that by changing her diet. So we were like, it's something. We actually ended up trying low carb vegan, which is the worst thing in the world.
Basically low glycemic. That was the only thing on acne and food really available to us on the internet, like the most searchable.
It didn't work. And it was also depressing.
Yes.
So did it come on like literally overnight, or did the breakouts, did they increase? Like,
yeah, it started when you were around 20 years old. And so what would happen is like once a month, it would be this breakout. And then over the course of the months, it would become a worse and worse breakout. But within a year or within like 6 months to a year, it was really severe.
I think what made it worse was that it would clear up from the antibiotics. And then once we get off the antibiotics for like a month, because you have to take a break, then it was like came back with a vengeance, really bad.
Almost like it was the antibiotics may have
made it worse,
killed our gut bacteria. I mean, there's no like exact science with that, but that just as a hunch could have been lowering our, immune system to get even more severe acne.
So you guys did research into cultures around the world that have no acne.
Yes. So we ended up, my dad said, this was again when we were at our worst point of having acne. And my dad was like, and all we were doing was talking about how annoying our acne was. It was like all we could think about. And my dad was like, why don't you see if Dr. McDougall has anything about acne? And so I remember vividly typing Dr. McDougall and I was like, wait, he has something on acne, like
very small section.
It's a very small section. He said, there are cultures in the world who never get acne. And by eliminating all oils and even healthy fats, you can get rid of acne and avoid oils in the skincare,
which we didn't realize that until a year after.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to try that. And like Nina said, within 3 days, it was significantly less oily. And I was like, okay, it's working.
And the zits were going down.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, whoa, it's noticeably less painful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I love about you guys before I lived in LA is to see you, and we eat pretty much the same diet for different reasons maybe. And I don't have to feel like weird that I don't eat an ounce of nuts and seeds a day and I'm going to drop dead. Because in your case, Dr. McDougall says the fat you eat is the fat you wear. In your case, the fat you eat was the zits you wore.
Yeah, pretty much.
And actually now to this day, we can eat if we wanted to some fatty foods. I mean, I don't like really eat it that much because I don't like crave it and I like what I eat. But we can eat those kinds of foods and not have a problem.
And we've had other people who've done our program who are able to reintroduce like avocado, nuts and seeds and stuff like that, and even some oils and not have any problem with their skin. So I think that's pretty cool as well.
We will never introduce oil.
No, it's not something that I want to eat, but it's just nice that I know I can eat it.
But if we were absolutely in a pinch in Mexico and the only thing they had was some oil in the rice, give me the arroz.
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
Nice. And you had trouble finding skincare that had no oil.
Yes. And so actually a year later, we went on this trip to Europe and my skin started breaking out again, not as severe, but I was still like, what is going on? I'm still following the diet. Why is my skin breaking out? And then so I got back from Europe. I went back to Dr. McDougall's website and I saw he said no oil in the skincare. And it was like another eureka moment. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it is. Because again, I was like falling down the trap of trying different topical stuff and it was just getting worse. different makeup. And so I was like, okay, I need to switch up all my stuff. And so just tried like a drugstore oil-free, face wash and stuff like that. And again, my skin healed up right away. But the reason we created our own line is because we couldn't find something that was like vegan, low toxicity.
Because a lot of things that are vegan have essential oils. And if you have acne, that's not good for you.
Yeah. Or, you need something that's going to take off the makeup as well, because, we're on camera. So we, have to wear makeup at times, and you want something that's going to not like dry out your skin. And so that's why we created our own line.
We didn't want something that had the super harsh benzol or salicylic acid, because that over time is so drying on your face. We just wanted something that was vegan and not going to irritate our skin. So we made our own line.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I think there's a misconception that when people have like acne prone skin or just, breakouts, that, okay, I need to put something that's going to be like harsh or like a benzyl acne style of face wash, when it's like, no, you need to be as natural as possible. Like, and natural meaning like not something that's going to have acne ingredients.
And I'll say the funny thing about like dermatologists is they'll say keep your skincare oil free, keep your makeup oil free, but they don't say keep your potatoes oil free, keep your food oil free. So it makes sense. If you don't want oil on your face in your face wash, why do you want it in the food you eat?
Yeah, a great point. How did you go about creating a beauty care line?
Yeah, so our parents have been in the beauty industry and know a lot about that side of the world since we were small. I remember always trying different products with them. And so we worked with a lab and to make sure
we worked with 3 different labs. And we gave them,
I think it was 4.
3 or 4 different labs. We gave them a list of ingredients of like, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. We want it vegan. Like we had all of these different things, and we would research every single ingredient and make sure, okay, it's a low toxicity, it's not going to harm your reproductive health and all this stuff.
It's oil free, it won't make you break out.
Yeah, like, and as well as for acne prone skin.
And then we tried these products ourselves.
Yeah, so the labs would give us like a little tester, and we just basically picked our favorite lab, like which one we thought worked the best and which one we liked the most.
And it was based out in Southern California. We got to go down to the lab. We even got to go down to where they make the packaging as well, which was cool.
Here, Mandy wants to know, are your beauty products available internationally or only in the United States?
Yes, so they should be available internationally. They're on Amazon, so you can just type in, I think you can type in Clear Skin Program or Real Clear Skin.
We actually became Amazon's choice, I think, which means it's a good
price and high ranking. So you can just look that up on Amazon. Yeah.
Maybe one day you'll have like a whole vegan line of makeup in Sephora.
Oh, I know. That would be really cool.
That would be really great. Well, so you guys were born vegan and eating a vegan diet. So how was it different before you changed your diet? Because you guys weren't eating like the worst junk food.
Right. I would say the main difference is like cutting out peanut butter, soy milk, even just hummus, just more like processed foods. Like on occasion, we would, go out to a vegan restaurant. We'd eat the nachos, we'd eat the cupcake, just, food cooked in oil. And then that's the main stuff we cut out.
Yeah, we just didn't eat at those kind of restaurants on Mother's Day and stuff. We just ate before we went.
Yeah, I mean, even so at the time, I wasn't like eating cupcakes or super unhealthy food all the time. So it was mainly like the peanut butter and foods with oil that we cut out, and nuts.
Right. So aren't you worried about getting enough omega-3 fatty acid? Because there's already a comment saying, but we need fat to absorb nutrients. I haven't eaten fat in 11 years and I'm not dead.
We don't eat no fat, we eat low fat. There's still fat in oats, there's still fat in your beans and rice.
Just a natural amount of fat, a lower amount of fat. So we actually answer that question on our website, clearskindiet.com, much more thoroughly than we could say it right now. But to make the answer short, no, we are not worried, because like Nina said, we still have a natural amount of fat in all the foods we eat.
Right. That it's impossible to be on a zero fat diet. Even if you're only eating potatoes, it's just not possible. Or maybe it's possible if you were eating just fruit, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're not doing that.
Right. So I'm going to read a nice comment from Nan, who was a guest on the show. 2 beautiful examples of great health will inspire us and reach the young audience. Huge applause. And Mandy says, maybe I should buy their book. And I said, yep, because Amazon's only showing 2 copies unless you get Kindle. So definitely get that right now. Here's a question from Christina. I'm on the SOFA's-free diet. That's sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, salt. And my acne is much better. However, sometimes I still get small whiteheads, pustules in my cheekbone area. Any advice on how to prevent or treat them?
Yeah. So my first thought, actually, if you're following this diet already, it could be a skincare related issue.
Make sure your skincare or your makeup is oil free, even your shampoo, conditioner.
Make sure, your moisturizer, any type of makeup. And if you're not using a face wash, then you should be using something that's not going to irritate your skin. That's my first hunch. My second hunch is like if they're taking any vitamins, like we've had some people do our program where they're like, if it's not working fast enough or what's going on, and then we find out that okay, there's like some we call secret oil in your vitamins. So there could be a number of reasons, but I would definitely look into skincare.
I wonder if I should put these in there as we talk, because this takes.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm just so interesting talking to you. But yes, you're going to make some of the recipes that you eat fantastic. Some people, there's these things I've seen where people wash their face now with nothing, like these cloths. Do you know what I'm talking about? And they also remove makeup, but people are using like nothing.
I've heard of that.
I haven't heard of that. Again, like I didn't wash my face this morning. If I don't have like a makeup on, it's not like a necessity. But if usually, if I'm outside, I'll put on a sunscreen or some sort of tinted moisturizer, in which case like I need to wash that off. So that's when you need face wash.
All right. So should I say what I'm doing, AJ?
Absolutely.
Okay. First off, we're preheating this to 400 degrees.
Yeah.
It needs to preheat for
5 minutes. So we have steamed up these potatoes for 10 minutes in our Instant Pot, and then we kept them in the fridge because it makes it easier to cut. And so what we're doing is we're cutting these into a steak fry style, and we're going to bake them up, and they taste like real French fries, but better.
Okay, so when I preheat it, I put it to 5 minutes, right? And then click.
Yeah. I'm just cutting these up.
Okay.
I'm going to give people a link, but they can go to your website and download a free booklet.
A free guide. It's called clearskindiet.com, and we talk about some of the main food causes of acne. It's just a free guide.
Nice. There's a question from Christina about fruit. She says, let's see, was it Christina? Somebody else, sorry. Somebody was saying, here it is. Do you think the sugar in fruit exacerbates acne? When I was a strict raw fruitarian, I still had some breakouts.
Yeah, so actually we've had a number, some people who have had to reduce their fruit intake when on the clear skin diet, because if they have like some really stubborn acne, some people are more sugar sensitive. But again, we're not promoting like a high fruit, like raw fruit-based diet of any sort. This is like a starch-based diet.
And we'll have people, if they're making, smoothies and stuff and they're having stubborn acne, we'll say, okay, I had some potato. Try cutting out the
smoothies.
The smoothie.
Yeah, some people are more sugar or insulin sensitive. For me, I can have a smoothie or a juice. It's no problem. But again, for some people who have the really stubborn breakouts, we don't recommend, like smoothies and having more basically sugar.
Yeah, and it's usually better to eat your food whole.
Right.
Yeah.
So Brenda says, I have a 15-year-old granddaughter that has really bad acne and she takes birth control pills. I wish I could convince her to change her way of eating. Maybe you could refer her to Nina and Randa's YouTube channel and she could see what's possible, or to the Clear Skin Diet.
Yeah, 15 is so young, and that birth control over like a long period of time, it's masking the symptoms of acne and stuff, but it could cause potential problems in the future. Because 15 is so young. Like, what about when you want to have kids eventually in maybe 10 or 20 years? And are you going to be on birth control that whole time? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like an extreme measure to have to take a pharmaceutical when they can just do something that's non-invasive. Christina also wants to know, how did you avoid touching your face, popping your pimples when it was clearing up? I cannot stop doing that. Even though my skin is getting better, I make it worse by reopening the wounds. My mom would just put oven mitts on you and tape them, and then.
Oh, wow. I just had the mindset of like, honestly, on occasion, I would pick at my skin if it was like more of like a whitehead at the surface. But if it's like a deep cystic acne or nodule, you definitely don't want to pick at that because it just makes it worse. And I just having that mindset of like, if I do this, it's going to turn into a scratch or a scar, and that's so much worse than acne. So I would just like, I don't know, think long term and just resist.
If it's painful and you're having like a cyst, you could always use a tiny bit of hydrocortisone.
Yep.
That's not something you want to do long term. But if you're in pain and you're like really gonna go squeeze, maybe just a drop of that.
It's supposed to like help reduce inflammation, which, because like sometimes you want to pick as well because it's like itchy or it's like annoying. So the hydrocortisone kind of helps the swelling go down.
Is that a train I hear?
Train, I was
Yeah,
about to say.
We're by the train station. We should spice these up.
Yes.
Let's get some spices up here. So you can really put anything, that you want for flavor. Like I kind of think some garam masala would be good on French fries.
Yeah, and we have some garlic salt, so we're gonna put some garlic
Well,
salt.
whoa, slow down. Some people don't like salt at all with our acne struggles. Like a little bit of salt for us is totally fine. We got some. I don't like rosemary.
Yeah, I know, AJ, you were salt-free, correct? And
Yeah.
Just gonna add a little bit more.
we do
garlic.
a little bit of salt.
My boyfriend's out of town, so we can eat all the garlic that make us stink.
Yes,
I don't
and
know
I
why-
don't have a boyfriend,
I
so
said us.
dump on the garlic.
Wow. Well, we can probably fix that pretty quickly. Now, I don't know if I can ask you this, but I think I can. How old you guys are? I had a guest that got really upset when he was asked that question. So.
Oh, we don't care.
We're 27. We're gonna be 28 in September.
I feel like if you show that you're annoyed about people asking your age, it means that you're old.
That's funny. The other question that we don't like to ask guests that can be very triggering is, are you married? That's another one that I have to be careful with.
Really? Well, we're not married.
Shall we put this in here?
We'll have to mix. I'm just mixing up all these little spices real quickly.
So if anyone's interested, this is called a Kyvol, Kyvol. This is our dad's
Air fryer.
air fryer.
He's
He
actually the
loves it.
one who taught us how to make steak fries.
Yeah, so basically I just preheated this for 5 minutes to 400 degrees, and then we're gonna bake these potatoes up with the
All right,
spices
let's
for
pass them.
18 minutes. So just go ahead and,
Woo!
so there's a little tray in there. You can just,
And AJ's the one who taught him about the air fryer.
here
Yeah,
it
because
goes.
when I remember at one point your mom didn't want to get one, and I'm like, it's so good though. The fries are so good in it.
Yeah.
People are asking about tea tree oil, diluted tea tree oil for acne.
I'm not a super fan of tea tree oil. I feel like I always end up burning my face. Or
Yeah.
causing some irritation.
We're all about like less is more. And so again,
Quick start.
let me just click time.
I got potatoes all over my hands. 1 second.
Yeah, we're not a big fan of using that kind of stuff. Like if somebody is having a small breakout, like we said, a little bit of hydrocortisone cream or even like benzoyl peroxide. But again, we also don't want people to go too crazy or do that every day. That's more like a once a week type of thing.
Right.
We think like less is more.
Right. So for some people, is the acne just hormonal, so that like when they reach menopause, even if they're continuing to eat oil, it might go away?
You know, we do have some people in their 30s and 40s and some older women that have commented on our YouTube channel. So there's like a mixed, age of people who can get acne. I mean, I'm sure people even, going through menopause or something that triggers their hormones can still get acne. And so, yeah, some people do grow out of it, or they, follow the diet long enough where they can have some more higher fat foods and it's fine, but everybody's different. So.
Yeah, I had this one girl, and I didn't have her, but she was the sister of somebody in my program. She wasn't overweight at all. So she's like, well, why would I want to give up, the fats? We need flaxseed every day. And she was in her 40s, late 40s, but she did it as an experiment. And just even that little bit of flaxseed she was having every day, once she gave it up, her skin cleared up.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit every day adds up to a lot over the month, a lot over several months. And so it definitely makes a difference.
Accumulation. It's kind of like if you do a lot of spending every day, a little bit of spending. And then over the course of 10 years, it's like, whoa, I spent $10,000.
Okay, you're gonna spend more than that, but
Well, whatever it is.
yeah.
So Vivica has a question. She's 52. She says, I have very dry skin all over my body, but I still have acne on my chin when I eat chocolate or other high-fat foods. When I stop eating the higher fat foods, my acne goes away for the most part, but not entirely. I use jojoba oil and shea butter on my skin, both face and body, to reduce itchiness for dry skin. Could that be causing the acne? And if so, what does somebody with dry skin do to not have acne, but also not have dry skin?
Yeah, so jojoba oil, again, that's low on toxicity. And I actually, when I first started breaking out, was using jojoba oil. And that's also when my skin started breaking out like crazy. And then it just became this vicious cycle of antibiotics, blah, 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 all this stuff. And so definitely, if you have acne prone skin, do not use jojoba oil. That is a pore clogging the thing. So I would recommend against that. I would use an oil-free moisturizer. You could check out ours. the Clear Skin program. It's on Amazon or on our website, clearskindiet.com, or you can just do your research and find something that's oil free. Like if you're gonna, that's fine on your body.
Yeah.
If you're not experiencing breakouts on your body, but not on the face. Would recommend against that.
Right. Stephanie says, did you notice any of the participants in your program or you having any more acne problems when people had to wear the masks?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we have some people, that we know very well where that's been a thing. Wearing a mask constantly, it's like
When you have it over your nose, it's like hot air.
it's like your breath and like wetness all getting stuck under there, which can definitely, cause some acne for sure.
Should I create the salad as we answer questions? Like
Sure.
the next thing?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
You want to get it?
get this.
Yeah, we'll just be kind of like cooking.
Where's the other bags?
It's right here.
There's
Yeah.
a bag.
So Gabriella says, are you worried about the toxic fumes from nonstick coating of the air fryer? I use nonstick. I don't worry about it.
I have not worried about it at all.
Well,
Not at all.
I don't know where the salad bag is.
I saw the salad thing in the fridge. Maybe somebody took it out. It wasn't
Oh,
me.
okay. I didn't take it out of the bag.
I didn't either.
Oh, okay. Well, the next thing we were gonna make was gonna be like a Mexican corn tortilla salad, but I realized to make the tortillas we need that, but I can still prepare the salad.
Yeah,
Except for we don't have lettuce. We left it at home,
but that's okay.
but that's okay.
We're more about the starch anyway. Lettuce is a little
Use
side
your
thing.
imagination because the lettuce is the least important part of the food. So what we have here is some rice. Just gonna add that to this bowl. And then we got some beans. These are just canned, rinsed. These are garbanzo beans, but you can also have kidney beans, pinto beans. I guess if you want like a more Mexican style, you could do pinto beans. And I will say that that cooked beans from an Instant Pot is 1,000,000 times better than canned beans. But if you're in a pinch,
if you're a little lazy chef like the two of us, you get
we
the
are
canned
definitely
beans.
lazy chefs, and we just focus on like the spices and honestly just being satiated. And rice and beans is the perfect combination.
We got
So
some
we got some
organic corn that we just nuked in the microwave.
Frozen corn. Now we're gonna add some cilantro.
Yeah, our mom hates cilantro, but we love it. You can also do mint, any fresh spices, thyme,
Parsley. Oh
Parsley.
my goodness.
I
So
love you guys say that you're all about the starch. I think you guys live together, right? So do you guys cook for each other, or how do you work out your meals?
we basically just kind of cook
We
for
cook for ourselves, I would say.
But sometimes I'll cook things and Randa will just eat them.
sometimes I cook things and you eat it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Just like each other's food.
I'll be the one to put stuff on the pressure cooker.
true.
The
She's
Instant
the
Pot.
Instant Pot girl.
Yeah. But I would say we just kind of stick to ourselves. Like we got the instant rice that you can microwave. We got the canned beans. We got some frozen vegetables.
We like
Sometimes
campers.
we eat like some baked sweet potatoes. I'm like good to go. Or like I'll get like a wrap and like now I'll put it all in a burrito. Like I'll eat
But
a
we're-
burrito every day.
I would say we're definitely, and hopefully AJ's not offended at this statement because she's looking at this and she's like, what is this? But we are very inspired by you, AJ, and what you make, especially your desserts and the way you flavor things.
I made your birthday cake one year because was it your 25th or your 21st? Because you couldn't have any added fats. So I made like one of the best recipes ever.
That was the
I
21st,
think it
probably.
was the 21st.
It was, and now it's like amazing recipe. It was the carrot cake with the sweet potato frosting. It was like so fun because that would have to create that. But I may make recipes fancy, but I swear I eat like you. Bag of Trader Joe's frozen broccoli and microwave and I microwave the rice and it's like a 7-minute dinner. And I put some California balsamic on it, which you guys get 2 free bottles for being on the show. Yay!
So we have cherry tomatoes that were added to this.
So even like when I have a friend over, I'll be like, I can make us food like 5-10 minutes. I'll get a whole meal ready. And they're like kind of looking at it like, oh, this looks so like basic. And then they bite into it. They're like, wow, this is actually so good and fresh. Like, it doesn't have to be super elaborate to be tasty.
I'm just thinking cherry tomatoes.
Matt says, would Nina and Randa ever do a triathlon? They'd be great athletes.
Yes,
We have.
we've done a triathlon. We did the
We've done
Malibu
multiple.
triathlon. We've done a few. We did the triathlon sprint. We did the furthest distance was a 1/2-mile swim in the ocean, then a 17-mile bike ride, and then a 4-mile jog or run. And that was very, very fun. The training was great as well.
All right, so let's spice this up. We're gonna do a little bit of garlic powder.
Great. We have some salsa as well. So we have mild pico de gallo salsa.
That's Charles's favorite.
Oh, really? My favorite spice is actually cream de tartare.
Because it's a little We like the sour, the tang. So I'm just gonna take a bit of this salsa. Got some fresh onion there. We'll just mix that up.
So what we usually do, and we don't have it today, is lime. We put lime on everything because it adds us. You get these microwavable foods, and then you add fresh things to it, and it tastes good. Wait, can you open this for me?
Can you open this for me? Oh, this is hard. This is like a trick I learned. You gotta. Let's see if that works.
Woo! I can't open this.
And so this is actually from Trader Joe. It's a corn and chili tomato-less salsa. So fun fact about me, I love tomato sauce, but I can't do a ton of it. Otherwise it makes my stomach upset. So,
well, I can't open this. This looks pretty good though.
Well, if we don't need it. Oh wait, I got it. Boom.
Oh wait, how long has this been? We can flip it.
We'll flip it in a minute. So this is just some more fresh herbs, garlic and pepper.
And boom. So this is the recipe. Usually we have some like lettuce or like spinach with it. You could also add, this is for, oh wait, no, we're gonna add this to it as well. So once those potatoes are done, we're gonna air fry these tortillas, and then it's a tortilla salad.
Now you can also just make this, in a
You also
soft
could just
taco
put
as
this,
well.
yeah, in a normal.
Which is what I would do, instead of toasting it even in this short speed air fryer, just because I am lazy and don't like to wait.
Also, if you prepare a big bowl like this, because I probably wouldn't eat all of this in one sitting, you could just keep it in the fridge and then you can have it for later. You have leftovers. I think a great way to stay on track with, eating the certain way you want to is to prepare. So keep something in your fridge and plan ahead of time, because then you'll keep it with it.
So it's been 9 minutes, and that means we need to flip our potatoes so that they cook evenly.
I don't know if you guys know this, but you can get baked tortillas with no oil.
Hey, from where?
Okay, I know where I get them by me, but when I was in LA, they had them at all the ethnic markets like Vallarta and the ones, I can't think of the other ones, but the ethnic markets, and sometimes Walmart. The brand is called Guerrero, and it does have a little bit of salt, but it's completely oil free. I'll actually have Charles bring it over. I bet you can get them on Amazon. I'll call him over.
Great. Just gonna put my hair up. I don't want to get my hair in the food.
So now we have another 9 minutes, and then we'll be good to go.
And then we'll make our tortillas, but we can start making the third recipe as well. We just need another container.
We could use this.
Yeah, we use the rice.
Do you guys eat the same breakfast every day? I mean, not necessarily the same as each other, but like every day the same thing.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, we are just like an oat.
I love oatmeal. Either it'll be, usually it's just oatmeal and with some frozen fruit. Like we have a ton of frozen bananas in our freezer right now, so I'll just add that and then maybe a little bit of maple syrup or something to sweeten it. And also, you like to make this overnight oats, which is what we're going to be showing right now.
So I might get judged for this, but we do use almond milk in this recipe.
Yeah, if people are having still continuous breakouts, we don't recommend almond milk.
I would say in the beginning of your clearing, probably don't stick with the almond milk, but this is still very low fat. Like 1 cup has 2.5 grams of fat, and we're not even going to like use a cup, so it's still very, very low fat. Mm-hmm. This is also the sugar-free vanilla one, and you could also use oat milk if you prefer that, or you could just use water. Yeah, because when water sits in oats, it becomes kind of like a creamy milk. But I do like almond milk. What's the word? Vice? That's my vice.
A little bit of almond milk.
A little bit of almond milk.
AJ, question for you. How do you feel about coffee?
I'm very sensitive to caffeine, and Charles has a heart defect from birth, so we can't have any caffeine, but I drink a brand called Say Me that tastes just like it. It's roasted brown rice, and it's amazing. It tastes exactly like coffee.
Well, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I can't do a lot of coffee either. If I do have coffee, I'm having like not even a tablespoon because I feel it so much, but I do like the taste.
Okay.
You would like it because I use it to make my shake. It's fantastic. It tastes like the coffee milkshake from Follow Your Heart, but no caffeine. So these are the Guerrera baked tostadas, and I can get them at the local Winco by me and at Cardenas in LA. Like I said, I used to get them at Vallarta, and they are 3 of them have 150 calories, total fat 1.5, and it's just corn, water, And there is sea salt, and I do eat these even though they have sodium. It's very low and they're fantastic and they're very, very crunchy.
What fell? Hold on. We need
And
an
you can get them at Target too often.
Uh-oh.
Woo!
That'll come up.
Now I smell like vanilla.
All right, what's the
Is it
next?
on my shirt?
No,
It's
you're
okay.
good. What's the next
Okay.
step?
The next thing is I have about a cup, a little less than a cup of oats. Usually I would honestly probably do like 2 cups of oats or even 3 cups, because then I just keep it in the fridge and not have to, and just like serve it in the morning. But so I'm gonna add a little bit of almond milk.
That's like a third of a cup.
This is
Almost.
a third of a cup. Now here. So what we made earlier in a food processor or blender, we just did it ahead of time. So I think in the recipe we sent you, we said we were going to use date paste, but the other day I couldn't find dates, so I tried raisin puree. You could also do the same thing with prunes. So this is just water and raisins blended up. We're gonna add this to our oats.
All of that?
Well, you know what? Usually I make like 3 cups of oats. Hold on.
We need more oats.
We might need some more oats. 1 second. I'm gonna get a spoon.
We should have just added it to this. Nina really loves her raisins. I mean, wow. That's a lot. Ugh.
So there's a question, and let me see who it's from. It's about the low-fat diet. Somebody's asking you, but is it satisfying? Sukika, for all of you, is low-fat satisfying? I think if people are used to a lot of fat at first, there might be a little period where it's not.
You know, it's funny. I was so much more satisfied eating low fat than I was before. I mean, I guess we weren't eating like super, super high fat.
Yeah. I find that having starches and making that the center of my diet gives me a lot of energy, especially working out. You know, we like to lift weights, we like to do cardio, and having something that sustains you is ideal. I mean, even high-powered athletes consume a lot of carbohydrates to fuel their workouts, and it's like, well, I want to be like an athlete, and so that's what I'm gonna eat, you know?
So I got some cinnamon.
It starts with diet, because you need to eat the right foods to even have the energy to want to work out and feel your best.
I found that we started working out like more and better when we changed our diet. I think because I just had more energy. Like runs were so easy. Whereas before, if I would have like dates with peanut butter, it'd be like, like a little run was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm gonna puke. And I never get that feeling.
That's
now.
so true. I remember every time we would eat out at a restaurant, like for a special occasion, like and this would be like, you know, I'm going for the cupcakes, the nachos, just all this, like all the vegan junk. The next day I'd be like, oh, I can't work out. I feel so sick. Or, you know, I couldn't work out like even a few hours later. Whereas now I'm like, I'll have breakfast. I'm like, I'm good to go to the gym, you know?
So you're answering the questions, and then it's going back to the food. Usually we like to use vanilla powder. AJ, you're actually the one who told us about that, but I couldn't find it at Trader Joe's. So here we have some alcohol-free vanilla extract. We just put like a tiny, not even like a tablespoon.
I mean, this is like almost like a cake.
I call this cake. And then we got some raisins.
No, these are blueberries.
Sorry, I meant to say blueberries.
Frozen blueberries.
We do have a lot of raisins in there though. And then you just kind of mix it up. And then after that, so this is, I'm going to show, I don't know if you can really see what it looks like.
It's almost like a blueberry pie.
But so what you do is you leave it in the fridge for like, I call it like overnight oats. You could do it overnight. You could do it the night before, or you could do it in the morning and then eat it like 2 hours later. I just like it when it's cold. It kind of reminds me of like
A yogurt.
And you could do any fruit if you wanted to make it like more tropical. You could put like pineapple or mango, or you could do strawberries.
Or add a little bit of lime.
Randa, I had made this the other day and she's like, whoa, it tastes like a really good graham cracker.
Yeah.
So
And what you can do is if you let this soak for a few hours, you could even put some like Ezekiel or grape nuts, something that's kind of like crunchy. And then it's almost like the easiest pie you've ever made in your life.
it's so freaking easy, and I'm serious, it's so good.
They're so good.
I honestly think that do you ever do raisin puree, AJ?
I have raisin and prune, even apricot I've made.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I saw apricot at the store and I actually thought, oh, I should try that. Yeah. You don't even need sugar to make things taste really good. You can use dried fruit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had dried jackfruit? It's really good.
I have,
It's
long time
good.
ago.
I'm gonna pop this in the fridge.
You know, what's so cool about you guys is, you know, you work in the entertainment industry, and so many females have discordant eating, body image issues, eating disorders. You guys you're so normal with food. I've been around you. You just eat when you're hungry. You know, you just eat what you want of the foods that we eat, you know.
Totally. Yeah, which some people might think that's like wacky, but it genuinely to me does not feel wacky at all. And I'm sure you feel the same way. It's just like, wow, I feel really good eating this and I feel satisfied. And yeah, we don't think or worry about our weight. We don't worry about calories. We never count calories. So
And you guys have never had weight issues.
No. So I actually, not that we've ever had a weight issue. We've never been like overweight, but when we had the severe acne, we were heavier. We were heavier because one, we were emotionally eating a little bit more, and we didn't want to go to the gym because we didn't want anybody to see our face. And we were like, I don't know, I was kind of like eating more peanut butter and just didn't, look as fit. But
honestly, I think I'm probably like 7 pounds lighter than when we first started low fat. We didn't do this for weight loss, obviously, but that just kind of naturally happened over the years because after a few years of like, less calories, it just kind of adds up over time. But yeah.
E. Richardson says, I love you ladies. I love Dr. McDougall's diet. My skin has cleared up tremendously.
Yay!
Yeah, I think that was the most profound thing I've heard you say is that doctors will tell the patients with acne, don't put oil on your skin, but they never say about what they're putting in their mouth.
Yeah. And that's what I was so annoyed. I'm like, you tell me to do oil free, but what about the food?
And when we would ask her because we saw a specialist, it's done. We had to wait months to see the special UCLA skin doctor, dermatologist. And, we were like, do you think it's anything food related? We asked this to our personal dermatologist, like, well, you don't eat dairy. Like, we know that's been correlated with acne. So no, it's really nothing. So,
and
when we clearly diet changed.
When we went back to the dermatologist, they're like, what did you do? And we're like, diet.
Yeah.
They were like, your skin's so clear.
All right. So it's been a total of 18 minutes and now we got our crispy fries. Shall we try them?
Too hot to eat right now.
I'll try it.
You can also pair it with ketchup. You could get sugar-free ketchup too out there.
That is so
We got to do this with sweet potatoes because we can make sweet potato fries. Is it too hot though?
No, it's good. Just be careful.
So the specialist that you saw, like, do they know what's come of your skin now? Did you send them a copy of your book and saying thanks, but no thanks? We figured it out.
Parents have a new dermatologist. I haven't seen her, and they did give her a copy of our book. I believe.
Our new dermatologist is really nice.
I haven't been to,
we don't really go.
Yeah.
We don't go to the dermatologist anymore.
Yeah, I don't need to see them for my skin.
We went from going like every month to like
never
go anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. How important is sunscreen, do you think?
I think sunscreen is very important, especially if you have some leftover hyperpigmentation, and for scarring, you definitely need sunscreen. Even so, like my makeup, I wear like a tinted sunscreen. When I'm out in the sun, we live by the beach, and so it's necessary. I think sunscreen.
I honestly, a lot of the times will just put a hat on just because.
Yeah.
Sunscreen, even if it's oil free, is kind of does something in my skin. Like I don't like the way it feels, but
yeah.
If you don't want to wear sunscreen, just wear a hat.
Yep, I have a hat that covers my whole face. So yes, that's at the desert. The sun is really, really brutal.
Yeah,
I bet.
Are any of your friends eating like you?
One of our friends, yeah.
A few of our close girlfriends eat very similarly to us.
We have a lot of vegan friends, but
Yeah.
not necessarily like some people who do low fat like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a lot of vegan friends.
Right. What brand of sunscreen do you use? Joan asks.
So I use this BB cream from Walmart actually. And so
it's $7.
It's $7, and it's just like a tinted, almost like a foundation, but not quite. But it has like SPF 30 in it. So I just use that. We recently just bought some Sun Bum as well, and that it's white, so it kind of makes your face a little bit whiter. But that's for sure like vegan and oil free and sulfate free, all that stuff. If that's also something you're interested in.
They have a few Sun Bum.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get the oil free one that doesn't have mineral oil in it.
Yeah. Should we make some tortillas? Let's do it. Here, let's move this over. Chef AJ, I wish we could give you some of these to eat.
I know. You're speaking my language, fries. I feel so bad for people on low carb diets or people that are afraid of potatoes. It's like that would be devastating.
I think I like rice even more than potatoes. Or so people who don't eat like rice or beans, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I love rice would be my second, I think, after potatoes. Well, sweet potatoes first, though.
Which do you like more, Randa, rice or potatoes?
I like rice and beans. That's my jam.
We eat rice and beans. Like, I don't think I've ever gone a day without rice and beans. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And then when people say it's so expensive to eat this way, rice and beans are probably the two least expensive foods you can buy.
Exactly. Yeah, it definitely does not have to be expensive.
So I'm just cutting these tortillas.
Get your starches and some fresh fruits and veg and you're good.
Yeah, I think the things that are expensive are if you do like, the Beyond Meat or like, vegan kind of meats and stuff, which that's fine if you want to eat that. I wouldn't like obviously recommend that every day, but that's what's gonna like you're gonna feel that in your wallet probably more.
Yeah.
Tell us about your program. Your dad showed me some of the videos. They were really wonderful. You guys are like very knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, we just a few months ago launched
November.
Launched our coaching program. So it's basically our book in video form. I mean,
but it's like 30 videos,
5 or 6 hours of footage. We also have over 100 recipes that we provide with our people. And I think the coolest part is every week we have a group Zoom call. And people come in and we, check in on them. It's like a support system. Some people, if they're still having some breakouts, will, just be able to really go in and be nitpicky and say like, okay, like, well, what's your skincare, and find, the root cause. And then we can check in and be like, okay, how's everything going? And, it's clearing up. Or for instance, people with even more stubborn acne, again, like, okay, maybe try ditching the smoothies, and it's like, okay, yay, my skin's clear. So,
but the fun thing about the program is that I feel like it makes people want to stick with it because they have this group that they're going to be talking with every week. And so, yeah, it's just a support system. And then also you get to, a lot of people when they're clearing their skin, like sometimes they find out like just by asking us a question of, oh, like I wasn't doing something right, or, oh, my moisturizer had oil in it. So that's cool.
And again, we go over all of that in the videos, but sometimes you forget about something, and then having that weekly check-in, it's like a nice reminder to pinpoint what could be causing the breakouts.
Well, it's got to be devastating for a young girl to have to deal with that.
And boys too.
Yeah, we just recently got a boy in our group, which is nice, and he's only in high school, and so he was talking about not having like any support system, and that he said like coming to this meeting gave him so much hope. And I feel like that's my favorite part is, we've been through it before. And so being able to tell somebody, hey, don't worry, it's going to work out and be fine.
We actually, we started it in November and it's supposed to go on for 2 months, but we still talk with all the first people that joined just because like we've become friends,
This is 5 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
With a young male, is it still hormonal in his case, or once he changes his diet, he'll be good?
Well, so your hormones, it's hard to exactly answer that question. Like everyone, when they go through their pubescent years, have their hormones change, and that's normal. But it's not, normal to have that type of reaction. I mean, I think what it comes down to is different people have their bodies, have different genetics. Their bodies are gonna show them inflammation in different ways. Some people might have, acne prone genetics, in which case they're eating greasy, unhealthy food. And it's going to say like, whoa, this is like a symptom of like, hey, something's not right. We need to change our environment. And so that's where diet comes in.
But the sad part about people who deal with such bad acne, there's actually been studies that show that people with severe acne are more prone to getting cancer later in life. So yeah, it seems like a really bad and annoying thing, but if you can find the root cause and like change what's making you have these breakouts, which is food, then you're going to be a lot better off
in the long run
later on. So
yeah, for instance, somebody in high school might not be having the genetics to have acne, but if they continue on the same like standard American diet, by the time they're like in their 60s, they could have like heart disease or all of like the Western diseases that have plagued the world as of now. So like we said, having this acne has been a blessing because it's showing us, hey, something's not wrong. Like it's good that our bodies showed us to make a change.
Great. We have a question from Matt. Do you think that a high protein vegan diet could affect skin and cause acne?
Yes.
High
Definitely.
protein vegan diet. So what would that just be? A lot of beans?
Well, I mean, I'm curious.
Maybe a lot of tofu, maybe, or nuts even have pretty high protein.
Yeah, that for sure.
Absolutely.
That would
Yeah.
affect.
I mean, when you consume more protein than you need, basically your kidneys just expel it. You end up peeing it out, so there's really no point to eating excess protein. You just need the right amount.
Joan wants to know if you guys eat white or brown rice. I eat both. I like them both.
My favorite is to combine the two.
Yeah.
I love rice too. How do you normally, you buy the prepared? Do you ever cook it in a rice cooker? That's pretty easy.
Yeah, rice cooker's the best.
We have the instant pot, and that just takes like 10 minutes, but usually we just have the instant rice in the freezer because it's just easier.
And we have the 1-minute rice that you just add the water on the stove.
Right. So Lizarda says, have you guys ever tried adaptoline for acne, adaptoline gel, and did it work for you?
I've
I don't
never
know what
heard
that
of that,
is.
so I don't think I have tried it. We tried all different types of creams like Epiduo, what's it called? Like Retin-A,
antibiotic cream.
clindamycin.
We
cream,
never look to a certain product to clear acne. It's like we just focus on the right food and then just something that's not harsh on the skin.
because ultimately all of that stuff we tried, even prescription stuff from the dermatologist, it would work for a little bit, but then it would come back worse because it wasn't treating the cause, it was just treating a symptom.
I feel like people are just preying on companies are preying on people's insecurities, and they're like, oh, this person has acne, we're gonna call this, this is the acne clearing
busting,
or
whatever.
I mean, we're a clear skin program, but that's because we are giving a program. You know, it's a diet and it's skincare and your skincare. But people are even with other things like wrinkles or whatever it is. It's like, or our shiny hair. It's like they put this thing on a product, and someone's like, oh, maybe this will be the thing that works for me, and it's like, no,
Marketing. It's marketing.
That's not what it is, and don't fall into that because we all want to be like perfect, or we want to look a certain way, and it's like, no, just chill, eat the right food and relax, and don't worry too much about the product.
And with anything in life, you have to follow the dollar. It's like, why is this person selling me this thing? I remember this one time we were in London, and again, our skin was bad, and somebody came up and she gets like a commission from selling this mud mask or whatever, and we're thinking, okay, this is going to be the thing that clears our skin, and it's like, no, this is the thing that makes this person money. Like, we don't get paid by promoting like fruits and vegetables and starches,
Well, I mean, our programs like direct coaching costs money, but it's not even like a ton of money anyway.
Anyway, we're going off on a little bit of a
now we're
tangent.
just talking about like the beauty world and stuff. I have such a beef with it because I'm just like, you're just saying all this stuff just to sell things.
Totally.
Do you have to be careful if you have acne with even shampoo and conditioner if they have oil in them?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some people who get acne on their body, in which case shampoo and conditioner is really important. But even like your hair touches your face, and especially if you have bangs, and it's
Not me. Mine doesn't.
I mean, even washing it out in the shower, it's still going on your face. So we recommend, using oil-free, especially with people who have super stubborn acne. And they could, someone can always experiment and add it back in, but we recommend oil-free.
Julie says, what kind of air fryer is that? I know you mentioned it at the top of the hour.
Kyvol. So that's Kyvol.
Right. When people come to your program, are they generally coming from a unhealthy vegan diet or a high-fat vegan diet or the standard American diet, or what is the participants' diets usually like before?
I've noticed most of the people who come into our coaching program, I feel like they've already been exposed to veganism, and then they're changing that style of eating more to us. But we've definitely, like, online have had people that eat like meat, dairy, totally standard American diet switch to this.
It's really all different people with different diets.
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask, I'm wondering if you find in the participants, when they change their diet, do they have more trouble going from a non-vegan diet to a vegan diet, or from the higher fat to the lower fat?
Actually, no, there was somebody in our participant program who was eating like a carnivore-based diet.
Oh, that's right.
And she said
She was very skeptical.
She was very skeptical. I remember the first meeting. But she ended up we ended up convincing her after, you sign up for the program, you just gotta trust us, you just gotta try it. And she's been doing it for months now, and her skin is great. And she says, yeah, she feels great. And so I don't think it was that big of a switch having more of a starch-based diet.
I think especially when people go from like low carb, I think switching to this, they're like, oh, it's
What
like
a relief.
oh, I can breathe, like I have energy.
Yeah.
That is great.
We're almost done with our chips for our tortilla salad.
Yeah, and that looks like regular Heinz ketchup, so I guess that's vegan, huh?
Yeah. Well, so our dad actually brought this. We usually like to get sugar-free ketchup, but
I used to be such a big ketchup girl. I would put it on my rice and beans, my potatoes, everything. And then
we don't love ketchup.
and then I cut out sugar and I tried it again. And I was like, wait, I don't love ketchup the same anymore, but it's
we
still
went
great.
like completely sugar-free for a year, like
Yeah.
not even maple syrup, but now I have maple syrup.
Yeah. Now I like a little sugar.
Do you recommend, I think we had this conversation once, but for some people with acne, even to cut out gluten?
Yes. So a while back, I would, again, it was like the tiniest, but like so minuscule, wasn't even like considered a breakout. And I cut out gluten and it completely, that stopped as well. But now I can have gluten. I mean, some people do have a sensitivity to gluten, but it's not something we recommend starting with going gluten-free.
But it makes sense why it would work for people who have stubborn acne, just because if they're not eating, like bagel or bread, they're probably having more potatoes and vegetables, and obviously that's more ideal for health than
It's less processed.
bread.
All right. Now we got our chippies.
Although everything we've made is gluten-free.
Yeah.
We definitely can easily eat gluten-free, and we could still be gluten-free, low fat, obviously. Okay, let's add.
Should we crumble them up?
Not totally crumpled, maybe just a bit.
Just a little.
So wait, I want people to hear how crunchy they are. That's like some
That's hot.
ASMR right there.
We can't do that right now.
Yeah, maybe let's not crumple it. It's too hot. Woo! Yeah, you can use. It's kind of basically like a tostada salad without the lettuce.
It looks amazing. I'm so lazy that sometimes I even buy the lettuce already chopped up, like the kind you use for tacos. It's just like it's shredded already.
Here are 2 spoons.
Apartment. I'll taste it.
Okay, you taste it.
I'm
Taste
excited.
tester. Get some of that
Some
cilantro.
crunch. I know, I love cilantro. Here we go. Hold on. That's a big
The moment
piece
of truth.
cilantro.
Is it good? Could be good.
Mmm.
Fabulosa.
Wow.
Senorita.
That looks amazing. I just got to read one thing from your book. You don't have to take medications with serious side effects to heal your skin. If you follow the principles outlined by Nina and Randa in this book, you will be able to have this clear skin you always dreamed of merely by filling your plate and your body with life-affirming foods, which is the low-fat, starch-based diet. John McDougall, MD.
A legend for having him in on there, but you're in on there too. We got a lot of legends in on there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's amazing. It's just, that's so cool. Well, congratulations. I've suffered from a lot of things in my life. Acne is not one of them, but I can only imagine just that anything that affects your personal appearance can be really difficult for people.
100%.
Especially when you're already vegan and people are like, oh, if you have acne, it just means you eat junk food. And you're like,
Well,
well, great.
you want to be that example of good
yeah,
health.
I was honestly embarrassed because I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, people are gonna think that I have this because I'm vegan, and it's almost that much worse.
But I mean, people can have acne and not be vegan.
totally, yeah, but still,
It wasn't.
it's almost extra pressure because when you're vegan, people want to say like, oh, that's why, like, oh, you have this problem because of this, and it's like, all right,
Yeah. And especially like, I mean, at any age, but in your early 20s, it's like you don't want to feel like somebody's just looking at your acne. It's like, no, I want you to look at me, like, and you don't want to feel judged for that as well.
Maybe that may be the one good thing about masks for people that don't want to eat this way, that they were able to cover it up for a short time, you know? I'm just going to ask you a fun question because your dad did a lot of wonderful conferences every year, the Healthy Lifestyle Expo, and you guys were always there. I don't know how often you spent in the room, but did you have a favorite speaker from all the different conferences? Is there anyone that sticks out in your mind?
Oh my gosh, that's really tough. I don't know how to answer that.
Rip Esselstyn,
Oh yeah, love Rip Esselstyn.
Jeff Novick.
Yeah.
Hi, Rip.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
that's no fair. You're going with the best looking one, but yes, that's fair. Oh, here's a great question from Joan. Do you guys have problems eating out with friends or do you always eat at home?
So we live in LA and we know our situation is unique because of that, but we don't have problems at all because you want to take it around?
Yeah, so there's always an option for us to eat out. You know, you can, even if you're going to a steakhouse, you can have like a steamed potato, some
Steamed vegetables.
You know, at Asian or Thai restaurants, there's always rice and vegetables or some sort of soup or pasta.
So what we usually do is we'll eat a little bit before, like as a snack, and then just order something while we're out and enjoy that. And we go out to eat with our friends just because, you know, you like to like talk and chat. We're not like, I don't need like a crazy meal.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with my friends and have something in front of me so that I fit in.
But I will say, you know, we're in California, things are starting to open up. It hasn't really been a thing like a weekly, like we're going out to dinner with our friends. Like that's just, it's unfortunately not been, you know, possible with the quarantine and all that. But yeah.
All right. Well, you know, when you think about it, as horrible as it was that your mom came down with that serious autoimmune disease, if it wasn't for that, we might not have this.
I know. We might not know you.
Yeah, because you know she went to. I mean, she has a great. I've been trying to get her on the show for a long time because she is a fabulous cook, and she
She is. Yeah, it's crazy how the thing that feels like the worst thing in your life is actually turn out to be a blessing or be something that's good. I mean, now we get to coach people on how to clear their skin, and that's really rewarding.
Yeah, it's like I always fall back on the quote, every cloud has a silver lining. Basically, you might think that this is so negative, like this is a rainstorm or whatever, but it's like you don't know what good is going to come out of something.
Even with breakups though, you know, it's like the worst thing in the world, and I'm like, damn, I upgraded hard from all the other ones. Like, yeah, I'm glad that didn't work out with the other
I'm
ones.
still waiting for that silver lining. I'm kidding.
That is funny. Are any of the you work with probably a younger population, but I'm curious if any of them come to your program with acne and maybe also weight issues, and they find that the diet clears up both.
Yeah, a person in the first initial pilot study, she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. And she had PCOS, and the diet also helped that. So yeah, people who are, you know, like have some weight to lose could definitely easily lose weight on this diet. Yeah,
That's great.
A diet, it's low in calorie density, meaning you can eat a lot of food, feel full, but you're not eating a ton of calories.
Yeah, you guys really understand this. So thank you so much for the work you do.
Aw,
I'm just like eating right now.
Well, yeah, the people are saying, well, why isn't Randa eating? Nina must be hungry.
Yeah, you are hungry.
Well, that's great. That's what I think people should do, is eat when they're hungry, not eat by the clock or measure their food or anything like that. That must be so bizarre to you growing up the way you were, to like the extreme diets that people go on where they, you know, weigh and measure every little thing they eat.
Oh my gosh, I do not want to do that. And we just eat when we're hungry. We don't think too hard about it. I feel like if you think too hard about it, it can become like unhealthy, and then honestly you could end up eating even more, or because like it's like one of those things, if it's like you're obsessed with things, you end up doing the opposite. And it's like, yeah, just be chill, be comfortable.
Yep.
If you
your body knows best ultimately. I mean, unless you're craving junk food, then your body's tricking you. But if you're eating whole foods, you can follow the body signals.
Wait, I have something to say. I want to say too.
Oh yeah, what is it? Give me a hint.
Remember when Dad told us about the deer?
The deer?
So out in the wild.
Oh yes. You never see, I know what you're gonna say, you never see an overweight
Never see like
deer.
obese deers because they're out in the wild. I mean, maybe also there's like deforestation and they're not able to find all the food. But if it's like a healthy area, you don't see overweight deers, and it's just because they're like scavenging around and eating what they're hopefully supposed to.
Eating when they're hungry.
When you eat these foods, which is what we're supposed to eat, you don't usually have these issues. So I don't know.
How many of us are really eating those foods? But yeah, you're absolutely right. No, there's no overweight species in nature. Not if they're eating their natural diet, that is. Yeah. Well, you guys are great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's always fun. And thank you for the wonderful presentation. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Come back tomorrow for 2 more cooking demos. First at 11 a.m. Pacific time. We have a wonderful doctor from the True North Health Center named Stephanie Peacock. She's been on the show before, but this time she's going to make pancakes. And at 1 p.m. we have Tuesday with Thomas. We're going to have more balsamic vinegar recipes. Do you guys like the balsamic? Because we're going to send you a couple of bottles.
We do. We love tangy. We love balsamic. I love like mustard and lime. So balsamic is right up the
It'd be great on your rice and beans. You could almost use it as straight up salad dressing.
Yeah. Well, we don't just eat plain salads. We put rice
not
into
a chance.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No, but I mean, even in your rice and bean salads is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because flavors like, I don't know if you guys like spicy, but they have a blazing habanero that's really spicy.
I never eat spicy.
She doesn't do well with spice. I can handle it.
Okay, we each get to pick a flavor, so you can do that. Well, great. Thank you so much. Oh, look, Kenny Malcolm's watching. You know him. Do you remember Kenny? He always came to your conferences, but he knows you. So, all right. Well, thanks so much, guys. It's great connecting again.
Hi, AJ.